taking care of you.
Yeah.
Try to take care of you.
Yeah. I never worry too much about that. They've kind of come to expect I'm going to be late. Okay, I think we are actually live. Huzzah! That was only a minor issue today, in the sense that VR chat just didn't feel like working. I had to restart Steam because reasons. You know, reasons. I love you, Steam. You're so wonderful. Nothing ever breaks. Perfect environment. Anyway, hi everybody. Caddie every night, feeling a bit reddish. And I feel like I'm getting a bit of a hip check here, which is nice. That's awesome. I'm gonna stand up and do a T-pose for dominance. Hi, Wild. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna do that again because something I don't feel calibrated right. That seems a little better. Excellent. T-pose to assert dominance. Absolutely. We always need to assert dominance every so often, and that's me. So comfy here. Well, tonight has a few extra little bonuses. For one, I'm a lot more comfortable. I'm on my new... Excuse me, self. Don't go. You're just going crazy, aren't you? I have to just turn my hip tracker off and just forget about it, because it doesn't feel like doing things right today. That's annoying. No VR. Yeah, sweetie. Just get this taken off me and just turn off. There we go. I'm just taking off my hip for the moment because I'm tired. I do not wish to deal with that. There. I'll accept semi-behavior. Semi-behavior is good enough. Anyway, as I was starting to say, I'm at least a moderately good bit more comfortable at the moment because I finally broke down and bought a new chair. I posted pictures on my Twitter, Mastodon, and Blue Sky of how bad my old chair was, and yeah, sitting up in the sitting up position without me in it was already at least 30 to 45 degrees bending backwards. As soon as I was in it, it was up to, say, more. And that was with the back set in, sit-up mode, not, the lean-back mode that a chair has. When I put in lean-back mode, woo, it was into Adventure Town. I was just going. But, to be fair, I've had that chair for 6 years, and I spend a lot of my free time at my desk, so over the course of 6 years, a chair wearing out, I say, is acceptable. It broke in a couple of interesting ways. One part I was able to take a picture of, and that was the left armrest on the bottom of it, right in line with one of the two screw points, had cracked almost all the way through the solid arm plastic. And as it's sitting up, it would shut and be a closed seam, but as soon as you're sitting down on it, it would spread a lot. And at least the right side, I couldn't tell for sure on the left side, the top screw on the back support area had somehow managed to worry a path through, which is why it was doing most of the tilting, as it were. It was effectively pushed way back. And I could push up on the back of the chair and it would slide forward, and you'd hear kind of a grinding, scrapey noise as you do it. And it didn't have any resistance at all, really, to do so, but there was nothing to keep it there once you pushed it forward. So that was fun. Currently, the dead chair is sitting in the spare room, or in the family room, a couple doors away from here. The biggest reason why I haven't completely chucked it yet is because my current chair is technically the newer model of the old one, and I'm also using the same exact model of chair that I have here in the workroom. It's a nice, larger person style, Lazy Boy brand desk chair, rated for upwards of 350 pounds. So it thinks it can handle 350 pounds. I was not 350 pounds when I bought the last one. In fact, I'm a lot less than that now. But apparently, over the course of 6 years, I was able to deal damage. So, go me. Not too big of a deal. It's a thing. When I lived in Carlisle for 8 years, I think I went through about 4 or 5 desk chairs. They would just wear out so fast before I figured out you should, if you're over 225 pounds, you really need to look at the label on the chair you're purchasing. Because almost every desk chair you'll see at your Office Depots, your Office Max, your Staples or whatever, most every single one of them has on its little hang tag about its information rated for 225 pounds. If you are over 225 pounds, you probably should not buy that chair. Generally, from my experience of now having looked for this for the last several chairs that I purchased, look for the ones that say more weight. The most I have seen, I think, was a 400-pound chair. This particular one, as I mentioned before, was a 350-pound chair, which is perfectly fine. I'm well within my range there. It's almost an extra 100 pounds over me, so I'm not super worried. But it's better to have a chair rating more than your butt is going to displace than one that's going to cover less than what your butt is going to displace. Because parts of the chair are have a higher potentiality of wearing out sooner. Things like the support under the chair could easily break if there's more weight on it on a longer period. You're not necessarily going to break the chair the second you sit on it. You know, a 300-pound person sitting on a 225-pound rated chair. It's not going to just crumble under your weight. Otherwise, there'd be no display models in any Staples, Office Depot, Office Max, or any of those other office-y places. Because some fat person will have sat on absolutely every one of them at least once. Because fat people exist. Did you realize larger Americans exist? I know. It's a shocker. Welcome to my world. And even at what I got down to, where I'm not feeling super fat, I'm still over a basic chair's weight ratio of, well, 225. So, that's fine. These tend to be a little more stable. The foam seems to last a little longer as far as the comfort level stuff. And, of course, the hardware being rated for more. You're going to have, even if you're not needing that longevity from weight ratios, you'll probably get a better longevity simply out of it's meant for more abuse than you're giving it. If my chair can handle almost 100 pounds more than I'm abusing it with, I expect this chair is going to last much longer than it should. So that's a plus. Anywho, finally did that change up on Saturday. It was a worthwhile endeavor. I was dumb, though, and I didn't ask for help when I was getting it at Sam's Club. Also, I didn't think ahead, and I took a cart, not a flatbed, because I wasn't even sure it was going to be there. I went to the aisle in Sam's Club where these chairs were. I knew where they were. Obviously, this is the third one of this chair I've bought in my existence, one of which is still in use upstairs. And it was on the second shelf. And the second shelf in Sam's Club is basically my shoulder level is the level of the shelf. I was like, okay, well, all I need to do is have this box land in my cart. That's not exactly heavy science. I can drag something, and it's not an overly heavy box, just moderately awkward and big. So I was like, alright, maneuvered in my cart. Started pulling that box down. And I did have a nice controlled fall. It was a controlled fall. I was actually pulling it and holding it most of the way down. But as it landed in the cart, it landed kind of crooked. I was like, okay, I'm going to straighten this. And then I couldn't move it. I'm like, it's not wedged that badly, is it? I look in the front, I'm like, it's an odd angle, but it's fine. I should be able to. And I looked back at the top, because I didn't push up the little child seat section, the little baskety part on the top of the shopping cart. It was still down. And this particular box has, fortunately, some air spaces in it due to the fact that it's, doesn't need a ton of packing to keep this thing safe. It had not only fallen and wedged itself into the cart in a fun way, it had also skewered itself onto the flappy part of the top basket part of my shopping cart. So I now had a desk chair meant for a large person, which means it's fairly heavy. This is a very large box, which I'm realizing now, I should have gotten the flatbed, not the regular cart, but, I'm stupid, and this is where we're at this point in the story. And it's stuck. Now, any normal person would have gone and asked for help, but I'm embarrassed that I don't want to deal with that. So I managed to, after some finagling, unwedge the chair from its position, lifting and finagling it off, flip the little child seat baskety part up on the shopping cart, drop the chair back into place, and I'm like, okay, we are good to go. We're gonna roll with this. I still have enough space in the cart to get what few groceries I was going to get while I was there, including more popcorn chicken, some dishwasher detergent. I can't remember what else, but it was a few things. Just a few items, and the rest of that trip went fairly painless, except for people are dumb and they will stop in front of you when you can't see them because there's a giant frickin' box on the front end of your cart. Yeah. Giant friggin' box on the front end of my cart. So after my shopping trip, dodging everyone, I did get it all in the car without too much hassle. I was able to actually lift it back out of the cart all the way, slide into the car, and at home, get it out of the car. Fopsy helped me get into the house the rest of the way from the garage, because, it's awkward and hard to lift. There were no handles or anything, so they just expected, oh, you're buying this. You must have friends. No. One of the best things about this particular chair, is almost no actual construction. Obviously not a sponsor. They didn't pay me for this. I had to pay for this chair on my own. You still have to put the 5 wheels on the bottom of the wheel star. That's a given. Easy. And they go in pretty smooth. So, punk, 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 punk. Alright, I got those all in. Flip it over. You put the compression cylinder in like normal. Shoop. Slides into place. And that's all of the hard stuff, because the rest of the chair is actually assembled in the box. All you have to do is pick the seat part up, line the little hole on the bottom of it up with the compression cylinder, slide it on. You're 99% of the way there. And you... Hi, Emmy. I wish to visit Caddie. Isn't not doable? You can visit if you like. I'm sorry, did I miss a pop-up? Oh, there it is. Boop. Here we go. I accepted. Ta-da! There we go. I accepted you. You're allowed in. It's a pretty small place. I expect you're going to find me. And you basically just sit the chair up, and the back clicks into place. The top 2 screws on these chairs are actually just kind of these pop-in buttons that as soon as the chair's in place, they lock. So, done. Seems how this is the second one of these I put together. Well, I knew what I was doing. Oh, you do have to put the little splayer on the bottom of the chair, too. You have to put the 4 big screws in that, which are hand screws. They have these big handles on them. Not just like thumb screws like you get on the back of a computer. I'm talking you get a good freaking hand grab on these bad boys and screw them in. Super easy. I mean, super easy. I think the only downgrade of this chair from the previous one, which you did have to screw the arms into, the controls were up on the underside of the arms on the previous models. This one, they're clipped in on the bottom of the chair near the front. It's not like any kind of a deal breaker or anything in my book, but it's not quite as nice. Elsewise, yeah, it's a great chair. Super comfy, super well made, super durable. And for the 6 years I had that previous one, the fake leather did not peel at all. So that's pretty good. Some of the paint peeled on the armrest parts, but I'll take that since, well, scraping. And Emmy, I did accept you, so I don't know if didn't go through or not, but if you didn't show you I accepted it, you can send me another one I will accept. I have it open just in case. Ta-da! Taking my off. That's fine. I just was making sure it did send. Wild says the fake leather on my computer chair has been peeling for a while. Oh yeah, I know about that. Every single previous chair I've had, no matter how long they lasted, peeled. In fact, the chair I had at my work desk before replacing it with one exactly like this one, it was my first fat person chair that I picked up. And the compression cylinder did eventually had failed on it, so it was at its lowest position, which is fine. It was still comfortable. The leather coating was almost entirely peeled off. And the biggest reason I ended up replacing it was the foam seat cushion had really just flatly died. It was no longer you no longer had the comfy on it. It was basically felt like you were sitting on the plywood or whatever is under the foam in the chair. Not the worst thing. I know I probably could have just put a pillow or something on it or made a foam recreation. But the compression cylinder was gone, and if I added more cushion to the chair, then the armrests are lower. Hey, there's an Emmy. Hello, Emmy. Who's a good little jello kitty? Good to see you, cutie pie. Haven't seen you in person in a while. Good girl. Who's our cute little jello puddle? You are. Oh, I've been sick with infection. Still think. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I hope you feel better. And I didn't mean to not notice you right away because your conversation is way up there and you're way down here, and I was looking at you, not up there. I wonder if I can adjust that. T-pose for dominance is just funny. It is. I love whenever people do that. Whether or not they need to, I just love it. And thank you, Emmy, for not being mad at me for that. Now, Saturday's adventure did not just start with me going straight to Sam's Club. I wound up, just thought, I'm going past the mall. I haven't been to the mall in a while. Been a hot minute. I think it was like end of September when I was last there. So I decided to go. Amy says, I get to see my doctor tomorrow to figure out how to get rid of my ear infections since the flu. Oh, well, hopefully they can do something for you. Either a pill or a thing or a something. A goo they shoot in your ear. Whatever they do, I honestly don't know. I haven't had an ear infection since I was pretty small. At least not anything that I actually got diagnosed for. Why is my jelly kitty not purple? I have no idea. But you're a pretty whitish color? I don't know. I don't make it, so I don't know why it's not purple. Bleach. Did you get into the bleach again, Emmy? We'll get you some hair dye later. And then there was a hubkin. Fruit flavored. So, as I randomly went through the mall on Saturday, I first ended up at one of my usual locations, which was Build-A-Bear, because I like spending all my money on things that, they just take my money. Now, last time I went there, I had a big stack of gift cards. You made a spaghettito. That is correct. That was what I did last time. I had a fat stack of gift cards, one of which was from a birthday present, and a couple other ones are the $10 gift card for $5 when you spend enough money ones. Mimikyu is cute. It kind of was, but he's not really my thing, so I didn't pick him up. So last time, even with buying an extra replacement gift card, I didn't spend all my previous gift cards. So I had a new gift card from buying Spriggy and what was left of my stack. And I walked in and I saw this year's Blitzen was released already. The Merry Missions were out. And because my army of Glitzens needed a new minion, I picked it up. Who's a good little score bunny? Binoy. I didn't score Binoy. I haven't scored Binoy plushie too. So I made the new Blitzen, and I got her cape. This one has silver peas and things. And her cape is very light blue themed. So she looks really pretty. I will have her on camera on Wednesday when I'm doing my gaming stream, so I will show her off on camera then. That was a very successful item. I was really happy I ran into that. Someone found the pens and the fact that she's hoppy. How cute. Then I went next door to the rock store and I got a couple of pretty rocks for my Fopsy Woo. A weird fluorite, I think it was. It was very green. It was very pretty. Got that. Nice. And a another little piece of rose quartz because somebody likes rose quartz a lot. I am slowly going to bury my Fopsy in pretty rocks because that's how my world works. Few more stores down the road. I wound up at Barnes & Noble because they sell board games and Legos. Yeah, I never go there for the books. I apologize. Unless they're for a game. Rose quartz is lovely. I agree. It's a very pretty rock. And I wound up in the gamey section at the Barnes & Noble. One of our favorite rocks for sure. Yes, very much so. And I usually go to look to see if they have any Battletech Man packs that I don't already have. And not only do they have 2 packs I didn't have, they were both Barnes & Noble exclusive ones. So, I bought them both. Added 4 more little Battletech Mans to my army. Because I'm dumb like that. And kept shopping. Because, well, lots of them all. Fopsy, when you get a sec, check my PM in Discord. Okay. Amy sent you a PM in Discord, Fopsy. Also, Amy's been very dry here. Much art has apparently occurred in my world with the pens. I decided it was worth a whiz to pop into the JCPenney to see if there was any fun items. Hydrate, yeah, probably need that. And then we'll continue with the story. That is here. There it is. I like Fopsy. I do look before I try to reach for the stuff. Oh, that's okay. I don't mind if you're failing to hydrate as well. You're not busy gabbing. So I was walking around Penny's because, one, every once in a while I'll find something that is just perfect. Even if it's a little expensive, I might just go, oh, I wish I could get that. And usually when I find something there, they tend to be, oh, that's perfect, that's awesome, and it's not my size. But this trip, things were in my favor. For I found this really, really soft fur hoodie type jacket in a slightly off-white, slightly peachish color. And I was like, oh, that's really pretty and really soft, but they would have one in 2X. There is one in 2X. Well, that's cool, but it's going to be expensive because it's It's pennies. Everything's brand name there. I'm not going to get a Farberware coat. No, it was brand name, but normally $90. Oh, I'm not getting a 60% off. Well, I guess I'm going to go stand in line. So I got this wonderful coat, which is really comfy. Fits me real nice. The fur is super soft. The lining is nice and silky. It was awesome. I sat around the house in it for the last couple of days, mostly relaxing and lounging in it because it's comf. I can definitely see I wear this one out in public too. It looks good on me. And it feels good, so that is so bonus. That was a ultimate find. That was a luck of the draw item right there. So yay. New jacket. And you're allowed to be hyper there, Emmy. That's okay. As long as you're having fun, you're being a good little Scorbinoy. You can be a good little hoppy Scorbinoy. So I spent a little bit at the mall, which isn't too bad. I did buy the first few items for MFF food-wise. I found good-sized square bowls for making ramen in the hotel room. After the last couple of years of MFF and the cost of DoorDash, I am opting for a few to probably supplement some of our eating with semi-instant items. So I picked up some Gladware-esque bowls from Meijer and some from Walmart, 2 different brands, both of which easily fit a block of ramen. And from experience, I found if you put the square of ramen plus the powder in there, pour hot water from an electric tea kettle or a coffee pot into it, put the lid on for 6 minutes, the noodles come up just about to the right spot. They're not perfect, but they're pretty darn close to right. Satisfying, filling, and one potential breakfast or lunch I wouldn't have to buy on any given day. And I plan to bring one of our hot water electric kettles with us so that I know I have something I can easily heat up enough water to make a ramen. Or the other thing I'm going to pick up on this Thursday's grocery trip, packet oatmeal. I know packet oatmeal is not the world's greatest food product. It's not really the best thing for you, not the most tasty, but it is extremely efficient and easy to deal with and moderately satisfying. So I'm going to pick up... Foxy likes to have the apple-flavored one the best, I believe. If we discussed that right. And both Wall and I do like the maple brown sugao variant. And the cost of 20 packs of oatmeal is like $4. The cost last year at MFF to DoorDash, 4 breakfast sandwiches, 1 donut, and 1 large iced coffee from Dunkin's was $60. If I can cover most of our breakfast cost at $4 for the whole weekend, over $60 for one day, I will spend $4. It ain't like living on the super greens, but if I can make one meal disappear price-wise, I don't feel like I have to worry too much if we say eat at the buffet downstairs most nights for dinner, assuming the food's decent. Not to say I'm not considering buying the Chinese food while we're there, because the Chinese place I picked from the last 2 years we went was really tasty, so I'm probably going to do that at least one night. Yeah, that is way too much. I totally agree. After all the fees and the extra charges are added in there, and the tip, and the fact that you may have to wait up to an hour for your cold breakfast sandwich, it's just like, yeah, no. No, they're not even that far away. But they're far enough away that you can't walk there. And for where MFF is, almost everything is non-walk toable as far as food goes. Like, you can walk about 10 minutes or so to get to one of the nearest things, which is like a McDonald's. One, I don't like eating McDonald's, period. Two, I'm not walking 10 minutes for a McDonald's because I probably will get a tummy ache from the walking back after eating McDonald's. The hotel's buffet dinner thing was actually pretty tasty when we went there on, I think it was the last night of last year. And factoring in the cost of it compared to the cost of an actual dinner place DoorDashed in, I'm pretty sure it was cheaper. I'm not exaggerating, so that says something. Again, not saying I'm not going to DoorDash while we're there. Period. End of story. I'm just going to opt for either potentially eating in the hotel accompaniments. They also have I don't know if it's a Starbucks or a knockoff Starbucks in the main part of the lobby, but even at Starbucks prices for a breakfast sandwich, it can't be more than $10 for a breakfast sandwich. Okay, I'm not door dashing for something that I can get in house for the same price. Chinese though, probably I'll order that. I'm gonna wish I could order the Chicago deep dish pizza, but I like to not get sick. Emmy just became a Rex. You are a tall drink of water there, little lady. It's a Starbucks convenience store. Okay, that's what it is. I couldn't remember, honestly. Wild. It has been a year, and I didn't spend any time there, honestly. But yeah, I will happily probably consider buying a breakfast sandwich there if I'm really desperate. Though certainly, I will be more than willing to share oatmeals and ramens with you, and anything else I pick up. The only thing we'd actually probably ask if you could pick up, because it'd be awkward space-wise for us, would be a case of water bottles. That'd make everybody's lives easier. Not meaning to just ask you openly here in the middle of a stream or anything, but it came to mind, so I thought I'd ask. Also, I was at Sam's Club. I picked up one of the other food items for MFF, and that is beef jerky. After AC's test run on these, I found the individually wrapped single flat sticks of beef jerky seem to be the most desirable and easiest to deal with. So I bought two boxes of those. So that's like 30 of these little sticks of beef jerky. By all means, wild. Eat them, enjoy them, carry one in your pocket. Do what you need to. None of us should pass out from lack of eating at the right time. I shouldn't have a problem with that. I just have to remember to pick it up. Thank you. I appreciate. Very much appreciate. Hello, little hopkin. Who's a little angel? You are. You're a little angel. Sweet little Emmy angel. Okay, hold on. Pet the little shiny angel. You're so bright. Who's a bright little girl? You are. You bright girl. Unfortunately, I can see that. I don't know about that. What? You're right? Yes, you're right. I mean, at the very least, you're optically bright. You're shiny. Planning to buy some other snacks for MFF. Not sure what all else yet. I don't know if she knows about me. Meh. I know about you, and that's what counts. You're a good girl.
I know that. I know, but Harwood doesn't.
Well, you've never met Heartwood in person, have you?
No, not in VR. Someday.
Someday. Maybe when one of his local meetup thingies, his monthly movie Mondays or whatever happens. I bet he...
Sister Argo, gotta go.
Okay. And we go disappear. Not buying the oatmeal cream pies this time after Fopsy read the health facts on them at Anthragon, and we realized how bad the large oatmeal cream pies are for you. I thought they made rules about you had to make serving sizes make sense. How is a single large oatmeal cream pie not a serving? It was, I don't remember if it was 2.5 or 3 servings per oatmeal cream pie. And the amount of calories in one of those was astronomical. So if you ate the whole thing, it was so bad for you. So I'm probably going to go with Swiss cake rolls. I know pretty sure Wild liked those. I know Fopsy does, and I know I do. And they're convenient and tasty. And to be honest, oftentimes in the evening, I do need something sweet to eat to settle my tummy. And I don't want to have to rely on things that are yucky. You have no problem. Excellent. I am glad you were okay with those. That and the fact that I plan to have plenty of oatmeal packets. And no, we're not restricted to 1 oatmeal packet per breakfast. I'm going to buy at least 20 packs worth. So, if it takes you 2 or 3 packs for a breakfast, enjoy. That goes for Fopsy and me too. I mean, think about it. There's only so many breakfasts. We get there Thursday, you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday breakfast, and Monday at a stretch. So that's only like 4 breakfasts at most. And if I buy a ton of those things, then, well, we're covered. Apparently I'm connected to chat again. Wow! Yay, Twitch! Thanks for doing your thing. My stream never froze from what I can tell, so that's a good sign. So, very happy with preparations. I have not tried test packing Mewtwo and Caddie yet to see how much space in Big Stanley they're going to take. I have plenty of time, though, so I'm probably going to pull in those cases over the weekend, this coming weekend, to deal with that. And we'll give it a shot. I know it's super early, but end of November is going to get here before I realize, and I don't want to leave that till the last minute. Especially since usually if I do at least 1 test pack first, and then I unpack and repack it, I do a better job the second time. So, and this is pretty consistent with the last, like, dozen cons I've gone to. I'll pack once, unpack and repack again, and I get things in even better by a lot. So, I'm trying to think smart. And yeah. I was good, by the way, chat. Did something we discussed last Monday when I was out grocery shopping on Thursday. I bought that coffee maker. Another thing I will at least show the box of on Wednesday when I'm on my fursuit stream. But it was a Mainstays was the brand name. I wasn't sure for sure what it was, but Mainstays was. It's one of Walmart's, or at least one of the off-brands that shows up at Walmart pretty heavy. It was $20, as I expected, $19.95. Not only is it K-Cup ready, like super ready, readier than my parents' actual Keurig, if you ask me. Their Keurig, you have to, before you put the K-Cup in, puncture it with this little punchy tool, and then slide into the machine. This particular off-brand Keurig machine has the puncher inside the pod section. So it's even readier to go than theirs is. And if you take out the K-Cup support device, the little puncher doodle, it actually came with a filter basket that is labeled with a fill line, which is better than normal coffee makers, to be honest. So you can just look at it and go, okay, fill to here with coffee grounds. Put the water in the back of the machine. Press either ground coffee or pod, and it just makes. It made a 14-ounce cup of coffee in less than 4 minutes, by far. I didn't start my timer right away because I'm a dork and I didn't think about it until after I pressed the button. But, you know, I just tried to figure it out anyway, how long it took. Anyway, less than 4 minutes by far, which was awesome, to make a pretty tasty, fresh cup of coffee. I got Dunkin' Donuts brand ground coffee, not K-Cups, just ground coffee so far. In fact, I have not bought any K-Cups as of yet. Though I did spend $5 on 2 additional K-Cup reusable cups that I can slide into the K-Cup shunter thingy as opposed to the filter basket that came with the machine. They were only $5 for the pair, so I figured, hey, give myself some extra options and possibly 2 extra cups of coffee that are loaded at any given time if I want to be prepared for a work week. But really, either put in coffee grounds or a K-Cup, pour your water in the butt end of the machine. If you're being simple on your hardware you're taking with you, just the coffee mug you're going to use. Fill it with water, pour that in. Ta-da! Press button. Wait for coffee to happen. And seriously, it actually did a pretty darn good job brewing that Dunkin' coffee. It was nice and smooth, had the correct flavor. I've used the Dunkin' before, so I know what it's supposed to taste like, and yeah, good coffee, good maker. It doesn't take up much space. It's faster than if I have the electric tea kettle upstairs at its full position, which is a 1 liter electric tea kettle. Our downstairs one will take even longer when it's full because it's like a 1.8 liter electric tea kettle. So having that upstairs on the work break room stand with the other beverage hardware, I think is going to be a nice improvement. I will have to go through the rest of that instant coffee, or possibly give some to my sister, who does actually really enjoy drinking it on purpose. That's not being mean. She actually just likes it. I'm mentioning it. She might make use of it if I decide I really don't want to keep up with it. But I'll probably just use it, go halfway, use that for one day, and then my little majigger the other day or something. But yeah. got supplies one way or the other, and freeze-dried coffee lasts for one forever, especially if you never unseal the containers. So, yeah. Got those from one way or the other. That was a productive situation there. It was on that same Thursday trip that I got both sets of square containers and the coffee majig. So that was a super win day right there. That was a good day for shoppies. Add that in with my Saturday trip that involved getting the chair and the jacket and the Blitzen. I've had I spent a little money, but I've had a good productive purchasing period there. And today, when I was starting up my stream, the only thing that held me back was, for some reason, I had to restart Steam before VR chat was willing to load. And when it did start to load, it didn't load the base screen on my desktop monitor. The one where you have to choose either do we want to run it in VR or run it on desktop mode. It only put that up in my headset, and at first the button was not clickable with my my pointers, my hand doodles here, which was weird. But I closed the pop-up window and brought it back up, and it worked fine. So we'll take that up to just being weird. We'll just call that being off. So not too complainatory there. That was all nice. Let's see, what else was there? There's 1,000 things going on in my head at all times. Food thought. Non-con related food thought. Something I've been really coming to terms with as far as spaghetti-y type sauces. You know, your basic tomato stuff that you put on noodles. I have been satisfied lately only if I start the sauce off by in some way browning meat in the pan. I'm not even being super particular. We can be turkey, sausage, beef. It can be chunks like stew meat. It can be ground meat just to make, meat pebbles in your sauce. It can be meatballs cooked in that same pan that's going to have sauce added to it. Whatever your options, I'm okay with whichever one. But I find when I don't do that, I just say heat up some sauce to put on a bag of frozen raviolis or something, the flavor is just so not there. That little bit of meatiness, and I'm guessing some of the meat grease flavor and whatnot, really makes a big difference in how the sauce is going to taste and feel.
Caddie,
Yes, little one?
I would love to make you ravioli lasagna. I make a good homemade Italian spaghetti sauce. I
Ooh.
also know how to make scampi, pastel, and anything you can think of. I'm learning to cook.
Yay! Those are all good fun things to make too. I don't make most of those on a day-to-day basis, mostly because time frame. Because a good spaghetti sauce takes more than 20 minutes to assemble. I haven't done pizzelle since I was a kid. That was a long time ago. Scampi's delicious,
Be
though.
right back again. Sister's calling me.
Okie dokie. So yeah, adding that meat I found makes a big difference. I will say, the one time I just randomly had picked up stew meat and made my spaghetti sauce start with that, that was amazing. That was a moment. That had a world of everything all at once that added to the spaghetti sauce. I was just, whoosh. Thank you. You did the thing. So tonight was gnocchi and meat sauce, which involved the 2¼ pound thing of ground beast, a jar of Prego, 2 small cans of mushrooms, a big dumping of frozen peppers and onions, 2 packs of gnocchi, the shelf-stable kind. Great value brand, actually. For some reason, those work best for me. I like the flavor. They have a really good stable and good texture. Better than the slightly more expensive brand name one next to it. A bunch of seasonings, including heavy basil.
Caddie, sorry again.
You're fine, dear.
I also know how to make chili, and I have a special ingredient for chili.
Ooh, what's your special ingredient?
Tomato paste.
Tomato paste is definitely a very important ingredient in a good chili. Chili was actually one of the first things I learned how to make as a kid. Pancakes was, I think, the first. That doesn't include things like putting hot dogs on the hot dog cooker or something. Chili was one of the first things that was actually involved in baking that I first learned how to make. Chili's such a good
Mine were
thing.
cinnamon rolls.
Cinnamon rolls. Ooh, those are good. I helped with a lot of baking as a kid, too, because Mom always baked cookies for every holiday, including your pizzelles. I must steal her pizzelle maker at some point. I don't think she's using it anymore.
Oh, Caddie, one day for Halloween or Thanksgiving or something, we made rum pizzelles. We made rum.
Yum, yum.
We made rum pizzelles.
Rum. It was tasty. Usually I believe they're an anise flavor in there.
Actually, you can make them out of orange flavor, vanilla, the licorice flavor is the original flavor, but Mom and I used coconut rum one day.
I'm okay with that. I like coconut rum. Malibu's definitely one of my friends. And speaking of Thanksgiving, that holiday is coming up in a few weeks, and yes, I'm making a turkey again. And yes, I expect to hear how people enjoy it, and I am okay with that. Please feel free to stroke my ego and let me know how good my turkey is if you're one of the people that gets to eat it. Does help. Meow. Cutie. And Mendy, I do want to congratulate you for your accomplishment over the weekend. Your Game Minds channel, I was watching you pretty much all the time you were on. I at least had you open. I saw you broke. Last I looked, weren't you over 1,100 on your $1,000 goal towards Children's Hospital? That is just awesome. I'm super proud of you and Sunny and Ocean and whoever else was all playing games with you, because I know I saw more than one head pop up down there that I didn't recognize.
Daddy, I got to go for a while.
That's okay, honey.
And time to go eating.
Well, you go get some rest, little cutie pie. Be good, little angel. Good girl. Go get some rest. And there she went. All right. And then there was one again. But yes, absolutely. Congratulations there, Mindy and Sunny and Ocean. And I don't know who else is part of your group. Those are the only ones I know for sure by name that show up. apologize. I should know all of these things. I don't. I'm bad at knowing everyone's names that are everywhere. But you've done to good. You've done to good. And I'm proud of you for keeping up with that. I will make Fopsy send you headshot choices for her 5 headshots that she bought ages ago. Though I know you're out of commission for a bit with the the re-ratcheting of your one of your wings there. I hope that heals up quickly. Also, Fopsy is sleeping. If you kid here. So cute. Actually can sleep in the same room where I babble like this loud. I'm pretty proud. I did have a minor sewing accomplishment as of tonight. I just finished another spool of thread. For me, this definitely is an accomplishment. Because all my sewing is basically hand sewing. Yes. Yes, she is. But I just finished another 1,200 yard spool of thread. That's a pretty chunkin' size spool. Hi, Wizard. Welcome to this evening. So that happened not long before tonight's stream, and I had to bust into my new one, and my new, yes, that is a snoring Fopsy. So I open up my new spool of pink thread, which is a 3,000 yard spool this time. So we're going to see how long that one lasts. I finished yet another minor sewing project this evening just before the stream started, because that's how timing works, and I was just like, I'm getting this done. It's a personal item. I don't want to get into too much descriptiveness, but it was a lot of sewing, and I'm pretty proud of how it turned out. I might post about it later, but I don't want to just talk about it openly on my stream. It's been feeling good lately to keep a sewing project at least started, kind of cut in some pieces on hand. It does keep me moving. Keeps my brain active. Like, I know I could sit there and build Legos, or play a video game, or just stare at the TV blankly without doing anything else. But honestly, I feel productive. I feel happy with myself when I'm sewing. It's definitely an art form for me that I find really, I don't want to say it defines me, but I love representing myself with it, and I love what happens when I sew. And I've been sewing faster and faster as of late, and things just kind of happen. I'll cut patterns, and I'll look down and I'll realize how much I'll have gotten through in a certain period of time. It's like, wow, I sewed that far in an hour? Wow. That's a lot of distance. Sometimes I realize in a single day I'll have sewn 200 to 300 inches in linear distance. I was like, really? How did I do that? And I'm like, oh, I had something fun on the TV and I had fabric in front of me. Boom. The sewing happened. So yeah, it's been keeping me going pretty good. I'm happy with that. Not only is it a relaxing thing, same as for like playing video games and whatnot, but it's also productive. I end up with things from it. Don't worry, even though I just finished a minor, modest project today, I actually have the next 2 projects in my head ready to start. More than likely, tomorrow while Foxy's streaming, I'll go cut the first couple pieces of fabric for that and get moving on it. Just to keep my paws busy. I was really happy with the satin sleeves I made last weekend? Yeah, it was last weekend, because I recorded the first video with them on Monday. They're really nice, they're really stable. I will definitely be wearing those at MFF. Adds an interesting upper body costume element without covering the whole upper body, just the arms. It can be good to add to a dress that is just a top of the bust zone. And oh, Duffman, good morning there, cutie patootie. Hello, how are you? A big cuddle pie. I have like a dozen things in my head that I really want to get to sewing on, and I'm just working on them one at a time, just making it through and making more things on my stack of stuff that I made. Besides, I got a lot of fresh satin that needs to be worked through, and a ton of white fur fabric. I actually dipped into the extremely short pile stuff that I got off Commander back in Labor Day weekend, I think it was, and just made the first dent in that. So lots of that to work through. Tough Man is still a bit heavy, but doing okay. I would totes make you a cup of coffee in one of my many coffee making devices at this point. If you were, in even the same time zone. I love the fact that I know I'm saying good morning to you as it's well in the evening here. Let's see, coffee makers sitting in my kitchen right now. There is the DeLonghi espresso maker, that is primary coffee unit. The new single serve / pod based coffee maker is currently sitting in that kitchen. I have a 12 cup coffee maker sitting under the counter that I never actually use because I don't need to make as much as a pot of coffee normally. It's too much. I usually would use that for making brewed tea, not large quantities of brewed tea to make iced tea out of, not making a coffee. It's actually the best thing I found to make the Thai iced tea out of is using the coffee maker and putting the stuff for it in a grounds basket and boom, and chill it off. Apparently Foxy was very tired. Also, there are 2 different electric tea kettles that I know of in the house. The other one is missing. My backup one is MIA. I'm annoyed at this. And we have instant coffee just for the third point of, coffee types available. But I like my varieties. I would like to get a French press one of these days. Not because I need more coffee sources in my life, but because I know it makes a different flavor, and I would like to have that as one of my options. I know Mendy uses one of those ones as as his primary coffee madoodle. So That's definitely one smart person who knows their coffee. I may have to get another electric tea kettle before we go to MFF. If I can't find the backup one in the next couple of days before I go grocery shopping. It's not that big of a deal. It's only like, that cheap one was only like $12, so I'm not looking for the lifetime investment. I just want a simple plastic one to take with me that I'm not worried about getting damaged. And would be an easy way to make sure I can make the ramen and or oatmeal. Might be time nap time. Have a great sleep. Thank you, Mendy. Have a good rest. You are awesome. Pet all the doggos and kitties. And pet Sunny too. Because he probably needs pets too. Yar. I look forward to MFF. I never look forward to the drive to and from conventions. I always find them anymore just too long. And I know there's nothing wrong with my car at the moment, but just the fact that I'm driving 3+ hours from my house means there's 3+ hours that something can go wrong either direction. A tire goes out or a thing breaks. I know a couple Anthrocons ago our front brakes wore the rest of the way off and I had no idea, and poof, drove home with just rear brakes. That was scary. Part of me would really like to get a new vehicle, especially for the longer trips, like going to conventions. But that's a lot of money to spend just to have a second vehicle for stuff like that. That, and most of the time, if either of us is leaving the house, either we're both leaving the house or the other one isn't leaving the house, so there's no point in having a second vehicle. We're rarely going in two different directions. So, in those senses, we don't have as many good reasons to have two cars in this house. And I can only easily park one in the garage. The other side of the garage is a little shorter because of where the family room closet is. So I'd have to have at least another car be short like this one, or just to barely squeeze in. And we'd have to have a lot less things in the garage. And I like having kind of the combo, some stuff and some car space. It's a thought. We definitely will want to replace the car before it dies, obviously, but we'll start running that bailiwag once it comes closer to dead. She is 13 now, because that's a 2010 model that we have. I'm gonna grab me some water. Oh, I got myself turned a little bit, didn't I? There we go. Unpop and repop that. I wonder if it looked like I was facing at an angle. I was. Camera's over here. Wow, it says, I have a 2012, but I hope to get more years out of for trade-in. I definitely feel you there. We bought our car when it was, I think it was 6 years old. So we've had it for 7 years ourselves, and she's a 2010. I'm gonna agree. Something you probably note as well, Wild. It feels kind of bunky when you see your friends all have. Most of your friends have newer cars than you, and some of the newer bells and whistles have come out since yours came out. So, like, I don't have a backup camera or a screen based stereo system in my car. These little things make me almost want to get a newer car just to have some of the little toys that everyone else gets. Pretty much as standard nowadays. But I look at it, my car drives fine. It does what I need. I find it hilarious, both with this car and the Ford Probe. As soon as I figured out that the back seats could fold down, unless I absolutely had to have someone in my backseat of my car, they have stayed folded down. I love having a giant launch pad of a back hatch area in my vehicle for storage. I know some people go crazy if your groceries are potentially mobile, but I'm usually pretty good at corralling things with where the heavy stuff is compared to where the rolling stuff is. And I usually have a plastic tote in the back there which is where I put all the refrigerator stuff anyway. So I often use that to help do some of the corralling, as it has weight pretty much immediately once I have some cold things in it. But I love having that giant flat area that you can just put everything in. And, as we found out, I can get 2 of our giant Stanley rolling fursuit totes in there. Can't get much else in once those 2 bad boys are in there. But them getting in and out of the car makes for so much of an easier con load, because that's a giant thing with actual good wheels and a really good pull out like dolly handle to it. Makes it really easy to get our stuff from the car up to the hotel room, no matter where we have to park it. And they have hard points on them, so you can bungee, say, a laundry bag on top of it, or another small tote, or anything else you need to get up to the hotel room, and make better use out of those wheels. So that's really kind of nice. I'm a big fan of that. And Wild, you'll get to see both Stanleys come MFF, because we are going to Stanley Pack again. I didn't. Last MFF, I decided I was going to do small tote / laundry bag packing for myself mostly. And I regret that on the loading phase. You can get more in the car when you use smaller and especially more squishable containers. But the transport from car to hotel room is so much easier once you, if you add in a wheel-based system, and more single product carrying as opposed to trying to haul it on, a Foot Locker tote and 3 laundry bags and a partridge in a pear tree, and it just becomes a hassle. It becomes a lot more effort to get it all into the hotel room. Yes, not everything fits in the big Stanleys, but we are going to do our best to get as much in there as we can. And it'll make the overall process so much easier again. Definitely helped with Anthrocon, and definitely helps the repacking process too, because you know what your space is, get it in there, and you'll work. I gotta make sure I have a suitcase for Waji. I think I have one for her, but I have to double check. Yeah, it's kind of important. If you're gonna get Grumpy Meerkat there, you're gonna have a lion that can harass her, so that's a plus. Caddie can pick on the Meer Kitten. Ask her to dig a tunnel for him. I love Waji. She's a very pretty lady. I haven't seen her in a hot minute either, so anxious to have some hangout time with her. I know I'm bringing Caddie and Mewtwo. This is Mewtwo's last con for quite a while, for at least the next 2 cons after this, I'm saying. Because he's been to so many recently. I feel bad that because he takes up a lot of space, I don't get a choice to take other suits then when I take him. And he gets a lot more time dominant when I have him there, so I want to try and split it up a little more. I'm intending at this point to bring Soservine, my Husky, next MFF. I'm probably going to bring our Burbed Anthrocon myself. Fopsy's currently intending to bring Capri the bird to MFF this year, so you see our beautiful green parrot, the macaw. Make sure you give it a hug. It's a really comfy suit. It's really fun to be in, so I'm looking forward to that this coming summer, and we'll see how that works. Not sure who else I'll bring to Anthrocon, but we'll find that out when it comes more time to packing. And this will be the first con we've had to pack her for, so we're going to find out how much space she takes up, which is a very important thing to factor in here. Some critters take out more space than you think once you get down to the packing process. I know I've mentioned it before, but Daisy, you'd think, takes up almost no room, but some of her larger static parts take up more space. She has big feet, she has a big tail, she has long ears. She may have a short face, but she has long ears. You have to budget around this stuff and pack around these items. No, the long ears don't necessarily take up much room, but you have to pack around them in a way that they're not going to be like bent down or crunked over, so you don't end up with ruined ears by the time you get to the convention. And her body has a nice dense pink fur, which is lovely. It feels nice. It's really great. But it takes up more space. So, you gotta play the game. And for people like us who are 2 fursuiters who travel in a single medium-sized vehicle, it definitely is important to do some test packing, not, say, the night before you're about to leave. I prefer to test pack upwards of a month before a convention, if I can. Like, being it's less than a month now till MFF, and for me it feels odd that I haven't actually tried to load yet. But I know how much space both suits I'm taking take up. Effectively, I just need to get them into their slots. Something went ding? What go ding? Ding? Oh, thank you, Farin Krug 13 for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to my channel. Monday nights is just chitty chat time, so you're getting what you're getting here. Please enjoy. I babble about things. I will talk with you. I respond to pretty much everything in chat unless it's naughty. So please feel free to say stuff if you so choose. You're not required to either. You just want to listen to me talk about stuff. So Caddie takes up a ton less room than any of my other suits for a lot of reasons. His feet are actually really compact. There's almost nothing to them, which is nice. His body is short pow fur, and it's not overly dense, so it folds up very small. His tail is skinny, takes up almost no space in of itself, and his head is actually a rather small head. These are not complaints. These are actually compliments on the nature of these parts. I've said it before, but one of those basic Foot Locker totes that you buy at Walmart or whatever, he takes up usually about half of one when he's packed. That's how much space he actually takes up. Now, I'm not just taking him, I'm taking some outfits for him, but my intention is any outfits I'm bringing, either I really want them, or they fit both on him and on Mewtwo. So I'm going with double way options, things that I can enjoy in both costumes, and get the most bang for my buck. For instance, the new cape is coming, obviously. It works on both critters. I am bringing the leather jacket from Mewtwo. I intend to bring that. I haven't tried it on Caddie yet, but I can definitely wear it on Mewtwo or use it on Mewtwo as a partialing option, so it's got multifunction. That would be fun to wear around the con, because it looks awesome. So it's probably the most manly piece of clothing I have. I mean, I finally own a nice leather jacket. I'm in my 40s, and I finally got a leather jacket. Now I need to find a jukebox that I can hip check and turn on with, because you gotta get your Arthur Fonzarelli on. Hey. It's going to be a fun time, I believe. I'm feeling... I liked my last two MFFs. The previous one, we were just there Saturday and Sunday, effectively, and had to leave early on Sunday because I had to work on the next day. I still had a good time. We were in one of the farthest remote hotels with shuttle bus to deal with, and I still had a pretty good time. Last year, I was staying with a wild foxy, and that little vixen got us a room in the main hotel, and that was even better simply because you were just at the location where the fun happened. Unlike Anthrocon, where even if you are in the Westin, that doesn't actually make you in the convention. That makes you next door to the convention, because the convention all happens in the convention center. And granted, most everything about the convention at MFF happens in the convention center, but there is a much bigger wonder space / meetup area in the MFF's main hotel lobby zone. It's a lot more inviting, it has a lot more places to be, and honestly, I find it much more pleasing. It's a much more pleasant location as far as that goes. It is weird when I think about the fact that I love both those cons, and I also hate both of them for a lot of different reasons. So I'm going to keep going to both for the time being. That, and we are basically dead center between the two, so it makes it easy for getting to two of the largest conventions in the world when you're 3 and 5 hours between each of them. And both of them are actually relatively easy drives, so that's even better. Every con's have their positives and negatives. You got that right. If there was one con that was 100% all positives, everyone would just go to that convention. And I am not going to down on MFF just for the things that I don't like about it. And it's not that I don't like about it, it's I don't like about its location or its things that are around it. Like the lack of food that you can easily walk to. Whereas Anthrocon, there's a lot of things I don't like about that. Yeah, I got all the food I can walk to. but the convention space itself is a big mess of how to get around. None of the hotels are really a main gathering place on that one. A little bit on the West End, but otherwise, the Marriott's technically closer. That's not really a gathering place. None of the other hotels around are really the places you just kind of hang out. So, yeah. I like MFF's layout. I like the convention center. I wish some things were bigger, but to that respect, everything that I don't like is things that I can't see a way that you can improve. So there's not really much point in complaining about them other than to note if that's really a deal breaker for when you're going to a convention. Pretty sure MFF's dealer's room is actually moderately smaller than Anthrocons, and I actually like it better. Anthrocon, I feel like their dealer's room is too spaced out. I like the fact there are nice big wide aisles between things, but they're just wide enough that people will congregate and make a people pile in that middle area, which gets rid of the flow area and then makes it just standing room that's it being used. MFF's aisles are a little tighter, and I find they're right in that little sweet spot where they're small enough that people don't feel like, oh, we should have a 20-person gather up and gab right here in the middle of this aisle, where I'm now potentially, making a squeeze point of people having to get around us, and a couple of dealers that were annoying because we're taking up space in front of their table. But hey, Ray question mark, opinions on virality? Oh, the VR con. I like the idea of it, and especially if someone is definitely a big VR person, I am all for you enjoying that and having a fun time. It doesn't give me what I need out of a con. And that's not saying bad things about it. That's saying what my needs are over what it can provide. And again, that isn't something that it can fix. The things that I like best about a convention: fursuiting. Well, I guess I can kind of do that. I can wear my VR avatars. Cool. But I can't wear my fursuits there, so that's something that's down. Something went ding. I'll see in a second here. Oh, thank you, Ray question mark, for the follow. I appreciate that. First you talk and you follow. You're such a sweetie. Please enjoy. And yes, I will keep talking about your question there. So I can't fursuit at that convention, which kind of a catch-22 in and of itself. No hotel costs, so that's always a plus. But I also can't go out to dinner with friends. Most of my best memories at a FurCon, fursuiting and going out to dinner with friends. Tight third would be time in the dealer's room, which the Feralities have had a decent dealer's room. I've gotten to visit a couple of them after the events closed, because I didn't actually pay for Ferality. And the dealer's rooms are nice, but they're all just VR stuff. One of the things I really love about going to an actual furry convention is the ability to buy physical stuff. That random weird thing. Get to see that artist in person. Which, yes, you can do a lot of that stuff. People hang out in their VR booths and their VR avatars and whatnot. But it's it's still just the VR variant of the person as opposed to actually getting to physically see them, and that kind of feeling of being there makes a difference to me. Again, I don't want to down on anybody that actually enjoys themselves there, because there's a lot of things that happen at that event that are definitely not only VR centric, and if that is your avenue, this is perfect for you. And you have a good chance of meeting a lot of people that are only going to be hanging out at stuff like this it's like the only time they'll ever be in public. A lot of VR streamers that's one of the few times you can randomly meet them in person, so to speak. And there's a lot of live music and stuff and dances and things. A lot of panels and whatnot. Actually, those kinds of things, I see no major difference between seeing them in VR as seeing them in person. If anything, in VR, it's a lot easier to get out of a situation if you're, say, in a bigger concert area. And it's easier to not be in a crowded one. If you go to just a second instance of the event, the concert or whatever's still happening at all of them, you can see the thing. You're just not in the same room that other particular 150 people currently were. And when a bigger event is over, you're not waiting for 500 people to be able to get out of a double doors at the back end of a ballroom. For one thing, you can go through people. There's no, we don't all have colliders on. Or you can literally just leave the instance, or take your headset off and you're already in your computer room. You can get to your bathroom without a line. You have your clean toilet. You have your food in your refrigerator. So, yeah, you can't go out to eat with your friends that are virtually all over the world. But you do have access to your refrigerator and your coffee maker and your grocery store purchased food products that are 50 times cheaper than buying them in downtown Chicago or Pittsburgh or San Jose or wherever your current event is. Yes, I did name several cities where conventions happen. Specifically, 3 of the conventions I have been to, actually. I'm considering registering for the next virality when it comes. Thanks for you're welcome, absolutely. I certainly love getting opinions on this sort of thing. Also, no COVID going to one of those. You have to worry about getting any kind of contract. I'm considering registering for the next one. They're not that expensive. But my biggest thought often was, most of the people I want to hang out with at these things, I can hang out with absolutely every other weekend without paying $20, $30 for. But the idea of being at the event is kind of a thing too. That's a hard one. I do enjoy the idea. And Ray, if this is something you were considering going to, and you, especially if you can't get to a physical furry convention, I say this is a really good opportunity. Take it. Go and see some of these people you can't see elsewise. Go and meet new friends. Go have fun. You can potentially have a really good time going to panels and going to the live shows, going to dance and things. Okay, I'm not going to fib here. I'm getting older. Going to dances, I try to do it a couple of my more recent conventions, and I'd be like less than 10 minutes in there, and I'm too tired. I'm out. So, there's that. Panels, I personally don't get much out of, but a lot of people do. If it's a panel that you're really interested in, some subject, some group you really like, go have fun. Go hang out with specific, ultra-specific, like-minded people, like hoofed furs, people who have hoof-bearing fursonas. Go to that panel, have fun. I actually got drug into that once because I own a hoofed fursuit. I didn't have fun, but Cherry's not like my ultimate mindset. She's just something I enjoy being. And I don't necessarily feel like I need to specifically identify with people that are of that one particular species. I actually like hanging out with a bunch of different species. I think that's more interesting to me. Or if you have a game or something that happens to have a meetup. I know things like Pokemon Go often has meetups at these kinds of conventions. So, yeah, even at a virtual one, you can meet up with these kind of people. And in fact, it'd be just as interesting, other than the fact you couldn't locally trade with them. You could see them, add their friend codes, and make new friends. It's a weird experience to go to any kind of convention. It's usually positive for the most part. Not gonna lie, physically going to a convention can get expensive real quick before you even add in food. We are definitely out a nice squat for having paid for our share of our hotel room and both of our registrations for MFF. I'm not going to say it's a thing that would stop me from going, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Then you got to add in transportation for us. We're in driving distance, so gas and parking. And you add in food. You do things like I'm doing for this MFF and try and mitigate some of the kind of filler meals that you don't necessarily need to make your moment on, like the breakfasts and lunches. Squeezing some of those out with instant foods. You can do that for your whole con if that is what you need to do to make it fun for you. Bring enough ramen. If you know your hotel you're staying at has a microwave, bring canned soups or whatever. Get yourself a setup. In most instances, there are ways to make this stuff happen without breaking the food budget. But pretty quickly, if you're eating out for even 2 meals a day at a convention, especially if you consider if it's 2 people in a household going, that adds up pretty fast. But if you're only doing it for 1 meal out of the day at one of the local one of the in-hotel restaurants or door dashing, it can work out not too bad. You can make things work. And a very important thing for actual conventions, know your physical limits. I know even I break this rule more than a few times at conventions. Remember to pack water and food and whatnot with you because you don't know when you're going to exhaust yourself. You're not used to staying in a hotel room, sleeping in a weird bed, then being on odd breakfast, and running around all day in a convention center, standing on your feet probably more than you normally are, possibly in some kind of costume at least part of the day, depending on if you're cosplaying or fursuiting or whatnot. And carrying around stuff you're not used to, depending on what you purchase at a dealer's room. You're going to wear yourself out a lot faster. Keep an eye on your personal limits. And I've said this one on more than a few times. Remember to have carryable nutrients with you. Granola bars, granola packs, beef jerky, even at the very least, maybe like some hard candy. I know we often bring like Werther's Original and keep some of those in our con stuff. And like, put a couple in your pocket. That little shot of sugar can sometimes be everything. And carrying a bottle of water definitely helps. Because you don't always know where the nearest water fountain's going to be, or water source. And if you just happen to have a little 12-ounce bottle of water with you, you at least have something. You're getting a pass, and then next time you see a water source, fill it back up. Wow, it says, I don't want to think how many steps I take at a con. I know there was one night I did 30,000. Yes, I have done that at a convention before, too. It is scary how quickly that adds up, especially if you're fursuiting and you're actually wearing your Fitbit. I do in everything but Mewtwo, so yeah, you find out real fast how much you walk. Oh, and Renamon, but she only made it to one convention because she got like 0 attention. I actually got directly ignored. I got openly ignored as Renamon, so I didn't bring her back to another convention. It's an experience. And if you're going to a digital con, you don't have that much of a instance like this because, again, you're not having to be on the 6th floor of the hotel, down the hall, and then a sky bridge and or a walkway away from the convention center where you'll have to stand in a line to get to the dealer's room to do things. But I do recommend at least have a water bottle next to your desk, especially if you're in VR. That way you can easily pick up that sports bottle and take a quick hit while you're chatting with your friends. Anytime I'm in VR, I always have my water bottle next to me, whether I expect to be doing this for 3 hours or if I'm just in potentially hanging out with some friends. It makes things easier. It's nice to be able to get that quick swig when you need it. At a convention, I almost always have a water bottle and some snacks on me because this has happened more than a few times where, for one reason or another, I wasn't prepared. And always go prepared to a con. Always go prepared. At the very least, some emergency snack foods in your hotel room, if not ones you have on you. Blurb. I know Mewtwo's going to get a lot of attention again, and I like that, and I'm definitely going to have fun being a Pokemon again. Especially since he has his new cape and his leather jacket to wear this one. I got some fun to have, and I'm going to have that fun. I do know I need to pick up a turkey in the next couple of weeks and stick that in the freezer till defrost time. I do brine my turkey for the like 8 to 12 hours before I cook it every Thanksgiving, so do need to have it and have it defrosted well before go time, effectively. I will need to find out how many heads are probably going to be at our local Thanksgiving meetup sooner than later. That way I know how big of a burb to pick up. That's what that is. I have been playing more with the AI image generator by Bing. It is interesting, the number of interesting fursuit creations that I have effectively made just by putting in a prompt and then things show up on my screen. Their system's not been perfect in the sense that some of these have been taking longer than they should, or it breaks. You know, the usual fun. But in general, it's been a fun, creative ride. Click. In fact, I just did a 4-pack there. There we go. That feels productive. Doubly make use of my time. I remember my first few furry cons where I was definitely living on the ultimate budget, where I was, sixth man in a hotel room, effectively expecting to be sleeping on the floor, bringing 99% of my food with me, like, ramen and snack bars and granola and stuff, expecting I was basically going to be eating instant hotel room food 90% of the time. Now I'm doing it simply on the sense that I'm doing it on purpose to avoid hassle at MFF in this case. Anthrocon, I have one less problem with that, and that's because we tend to stay in the Drury, and that has a free breakfast buffet every freaking day, and it's actually halfway decent. I mean, it's not like 4-star dining or anything, but it's sufficient. Like scrambled eggs, sausage patties, biscuits, usually sausage gravy, a waffle station, oatmeal, fruit, pastries like muffins and bagels and things, actually decent coffee, and fountain beverages are available during that time. And a free dinner buffet, which is, again, usually passable. Nothing seriously amazing, but if you're squeezing, it does help. Just to have sustenance over no sustenance. I know if Anthrocon, our hotel, didn't have that, I'd actually gotten used to picking up Dunkin's locally there, and buying 2 Dunkin' sandwiches and a coffee and a donut for the 2 of us generally was like $10. So comparing that to the door dashing for 4 of us for $60 was definitely a major. That's not as cool. I'm gonna fidget for a second. My bum is getting tired from being in this position. I'm not going anywhere, mind you, so don't worry. Just standing up, stretching. I'll take that free stretch. still breaking the new chair in, so I don't know how well this will work without the hip tracker on, but there we go. The chair is literally only like 2 days old to me, so it will take a little time to get it fully busted in. I know last weekend, the previous weekend, we went out for ramen and sushi. That was really tasty. This week, we did not go out as a group. Though I did go get takeout Chinese food on Saturday, which was really tasty. Our local takeout place that we have found is our good takeout place. They have not failed to impress me as of yet. In fact, this weekend, I got one of the things I got was the sesame chicken, and it tasted so crispy and fresh, even though it was covered in sauce. That was amazing. It had such a good flavor. Fopsy got the General Tso's. It's one of her things. We each got a noodle bit. I got the house lo mein, and she got the Singapore Mei Fun. All of which were delish. I also picked up a couple of units of wonton soup to have throughout the week. Not gonna lie, it's getting a quart of that is pretty much the same price as buying a can of Campbell's Chunky Soup anyway. So I can get 2 bowls out of that quart of wonton soup and have a really good time. I'm gonna do that. It's really tasty, hands down. And the last 3 weeks for my Friday, I had picked up the I'm spinning. Hopefully that goes away. Last 3 Fridays, I had picked up the pack of rib sandwich patties in the frozen section of Meijer. And I did figure out they are Encore brand. Someone mentioned that might have been the brand name, but they spelled it correctly, not the way Encore spells it, which is why I thought it wasn't them. Because they spell it like the word Encore, Encoure. Whereas Encore spells it on-core. So they tasty caked their name pretty well. But the flavor of their barbecue sauce is pretty much what I want on there. And the 6 little patty-lets are, well, it's more than enough for dinner that night and a lunch another day. So, pretty good option. And almost no cost on that. Not going to try and bring something like that to the convention because, 1, freezer space. And 2, even if there is a microwave, that's a long arse of microwave time to heat up this tray full of barbecue goo and little patties that you also then have to bring buns for. Not really a smart move. Assuming we get flagged info from Nepal, who's going to get there before we do, find out for sure if there's microwaves or not. I might throw some cans of soup in the con pack as well, because if I can have some absolutely decent lunches, like a Campbell's Chunky or a can of chili or something in there, that is definitely a Mark level lunch where I would feel satisfied and flavorly accepting for my time and effort. Microwaves in the hotel room are definitely always a plus. I remember last year for sure we had a small refrigerator. That's the only thing I remember for sure. I don't remember if there was a microwave or not. And I'm pretty sure the coffee maker they had in the room was a K-Cup unit of some sort. Not really a Keurig, but like one of those little hotel room K-Cup models. This is not a complaint. I have no problem with the brand name or not. Just noting what it was. And seeing as how there's only going to be 3 people in our hotel room this MFF, that's going to be a lot of space for the 3 of us. Looking forward to stretching my leggy poos. There might have been a microwave in the hallway somewhere. Oh, that's right. Nepal said it might have been, it was down by like the ice maker or something. Now I remember. I forget things from like 2 weeks ago. My brain go flurp. I'd say that's acceptable. I would happily stand in the hallway and nuke a bowl of soup. That'd definitely make for a level up instant lunch. I like having options as far as food goes, but I don't want to carry too many extra options. Same thing with clothing and whatnot. I'd like to have more than exactly what I need for an event, especially in case something gets dirty unexpectedly. But I don't want to carry the entire closet and the entire pantry with me. That would just be a waste of everybody's effort. Heck, one of the biggest reasons why I only bring as many dresses as I do, I try to pare it down to things I absolutely want to wear at that event. And in the case of dresses, I definitely want to have at least one long princess dress. I have several shorter dresses I'd like to bring for different reasons, like the maid dress I'd definitely like to bring because of the maid thing at MFF. But if I'm bringing, say, the short type petticoats and whatnot, it's not that much more difficult to pack one of the short dresses. Most of those don't take up much space once folded. They're actually pretty tiny. The maid dress takes up almost no space in my bag. So that's almost a guarantee. I don't have a reason not to bring that. I have more problem with making sure the feather duster doesn't get damaged because I have a nice, large, cute prop feather duster to carry around with me. I have issues. So I'll probably squeeze a couple of those cans of soup in there or something just to make for a couple of good emergency lunches. I don't expect to need too much as far as room meals go because I'm going to basically put it out there. I'm okay with the idea that we're going to eat the hotel food buffet several times, and that I am accepting that we're probably going to order like the Chinese food out by DoorDash at least once. I'm okay with that in concept because overall they're not good financial options, but they're the better financial options, as it were. As someone who rarely eats out anymore, not kidding, we actually rarely do get takeout or go to a restaurant. It almost feels weird when I go to a convention and I eat food that's not heated at home for more than 2 meals in a row. In the worst, it's like a can of Campbell's chunky soup for lunch. Um, but depending on what I made on Monday or over the weekend, oftentimes I have leftovers for my lunches even. And I cook on Monday night, so there's fresh food on Monday night. Tuesday night's a leftover on Monday. Wednesday's curry night. Thursday, yeah, I often eat something stupid, like frozen crap or something I pick up at the store while I'm out grocery shopping. Friday's been, the last 3 weeks, it's been those rib sandwich things, but it's often one of those, random items. Saturday, I often cook something. Often. This week I did takeout because I'm naughty. And Sunday, I usually either cook steak or fish. This week I didn't because I had leftover Chinese food for all of Sunday, so we were basically covered. So that whole idea of eating out for all of my meals always feels weird in an event. I know a lot of people eat out like many times a week on average, and I'm not going to judge anyone for that. I don't. I'm not in charge of your free time. I'm not in charge of your food budgets. If you can afford it and it's the best options for you, absolutely do the thing. Well, it says I grew up on eating out on weekends, and I still do it to this day, although I may go back to cooking at home on Sundays soon. I can understand that. We rarely ate out when I was a kid, so for me, that was not exactly a habit. I only started eating out more as an adult because, well, the whole nobody's stopping me theory. Nobody's keeping me from going to this restaurant and that restaurant. And it meant I didn't have to cook every night of the week, which was amazing. Because ever since I was like 12, I've cooked almost every day. Since I was 12, I'm in my 40s. So any of those days where someone else cooked, or we ate out, or I ate out, I just looked at as I didn't have to cook day. And any of those days is a big win for me. I know a lot of times when people say, "Oh, I don't know what you want. I don't want to mess it up. I don't want to disappoint you with the food." You know what? My opinion is, you made food. I didn't have to. As long as it's something I can eat, I am not going to sit there and whine about it. And I say that in the sense of, did you add any of the magical ingredients that I am either really can't digest or I am highly allergic to? So no cheese and no mustard and no milk products. You know, most of the time, as long as it's edible, we're good. Now I'm bored of this world. I'm gonna go somewhere else. How's that sound? Wait. When did that happen? Tough man. I didn't realize you were waiting. I'm sorry, sweetie. I didn't hear the bing. I would have so let you in. I am so sorry. Let's see. Okay. I've already been to that one. Oh, that looks amusing. In my voice. Yes. Initializing world. Oh, this can't be too scary. Anchor to local. Oh, you just are rotated that way now. Flying. There you are. Let's put you behind me. We're going to explore a little bit. Turn flying off. See me right beside the camera. This is apparently Barbie's dream house. Oh wow. Candy things. Let me go ding. Something went ding. What went ding? Got someone following me? Wait for it to pop up. Couldn't read that any faster. There you are. Hello, Astro Malaysia's fan 2003. Hello, Cad Pig. I'm Dex, the Sonic Mobian Dalmatian dog from Sonic OC Dog. I am very curious. I'm the most very cutest Sonic Mobian Dalmatian dog ever. Ah, yes, I did just change world there. Duffman, let me fix this. Hold on. It just went somewhere. Yeah. There. Now. Yes, you can join me. I'm at Barbie's Dream House. Come. I don't know when you're invited to come in, but I saw it, and I was like, I felt bad. Come in the pool. I'm exploring. There's a big shoe. Shoe betcha. I'm waiting. I see a little diamond thing. Ding, ding. There you are. Hello, Duffman.
Oi, oi.
Yeah. I missed you, big cuddle puppy.
Miss you too.
We're playing around in Barbie's dream house.
So I noticed.
I looked for someplace that was pink, and this came up.
Can't get much more pink than this.
No. Come, explore with me. Boing. Got a kitchen. So she can not bake, because she's going to order out. She has an espresso maker. Food. Lots of cookies. Macaroons. Ooh. Oh, there's one. One giant macaroon. Some things have physics, some don't. there's a back patio. This is about where I was the first time I got through here, and a million little food items. A swimming pool. A duff man. Another doggy. Woo! Sit. Whee! Swings. The usual pins. Boing! It's a 3-story house. Barbie, you she-sheing it. Boing! Boing! Ooh, we got a snazzy living room with Barbie on the tube. Pink couches. Is there anything good in the... Yeah, China cabinet is lacking. Lacking. Not fashionable enough. Pot with heart sticks. I don't get that. Am I not girly enough? I'm not getting things. And it's a hot tub thing with a sliding board that goes into it because reasons. A bath, big bath tub and a shower, a toilet. Board must have been here. There's a toilet. A pananer. Guys, I know there's a 3rd floor. Is there a stairway up any higher? Do I have to cheat to get up there? Hey. Let me see if I can smart this. Ha! Okay. Nah. Okay. Now. Can I Skyrim up there? Nah. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Got on the slide. I got on the slide. I made it. I'm allowed upstairs. Yay. Swing. A computer room. And Barbie's boudoir. Ooh la la. Oh, Mr. Duffman, we're hanging out in Barbie's bedroom together. Oh, how naughty. Wholesome. Yeah, exactly. There's holes. Sub. This doesn't even look like it belongs. This looks like it's supposed to have been a slide that's sitting somewhere, not sitting downward because of the way the stairs work. That's dangerous. Anyway. Whee! I'm too short for this ride. Well, this is a thing. So anyway, how are you, Mr. Duffy Fluff? Besides sleepy.
Yeah. Yeah, doing okay.
Good.
Working like an hour and a bit.
I'm sorry. I've been off most Mondays for the last little while, so I was lazy today.
It's Tuesday for me.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're that far ahead of the game.
Yeah, probably like 15 hours-ish ahead of you. 15, 16, somewhere around there.
If that's a lot of hours. And anchor to click. Click. Try to click inside of you. There we go. Anchor back to world. There. Now, I'm on camera with you, not my ass. Because you're.
I'm sure they like the view.
Yeah, but it was only like half of my ass too, so I'm betting it wasn't that entertaining.
Everything might go.
Ooh. Pull to eject. You eject? No, eject.
I mean, if you do it enough.
Well, that's kind of neat. An actual choke chain. Not that I want to choke you. You're a good boy.
Well, it's referred to as a training color.
Oh, yeah. That's the polite words. Gotta remember, use polite words, not the ones that everyone recognizes things as.
I was trying to get this work. I've been having two issues with this. I got it working, but no one could see it, and the toggle worked. But the toggle worked. Now the toggle doesn't work, but everyone can see it.
I can see it, and I can grab it. Rawr.
I want to react to you pulling it, but maybe Twitch wouldn't like that.
Yeah, I may not have the world's largest follower count, but I'd like to keep what I got.
You never know when Big Daddy Twitch is going to be looking your way.
Papa Bezos, I'm being good. I'm not doing anything that's against your terms of service. As far as I know. Speaking of which, not that. That window, I need to make sure I have it up for later. Open new tab. There we go. Gotta have the creator dashboard open. Dink. Dink. I'm so unprepared today. Well, I was mostly prepared, and then VR chat didn't want to open until I restarted Steam. Which apparently had yet another update. I'm like, really?
I get all updates. They don't screw anything up.
Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. I didn't not be able to start my stream for 20 minutes till late last week because of updates.
Yeah, something's happened with one of the recent updates. I don't know if it's the Steam VR or VR chat, but I can't copy links into URL fields anymore.
Weird.
I'm not sure if it's an option in the settings or something, because every update there seems to some setting in the options seems to get added or defaulted.
I know for me, the pop-up desktop view, which is where I actually look at my Twitch chat and stuff, totally changed with the last update of Steam VR. It's like the entire interface is wonked off, and it had disappeared. Last week, I would have been on time and just dealt with doing the updates after, but my desktop pop-up view thing wouldn't load at all until I did the updates. And I was like, ugh. Things looked nicer before. Why you ruin it?
I'm still holding off on the Windows 11 update.
I can't. My processor's apparently slightly too old to win. I have a faster computer than half my friends out there that are on Windows 11, but I can't upgrade because my i7 is one generation too far back. Next year should be new computer year anyway, so everything works well. We'll have brand new i7 or i9 setups in this house. Same video card though. We are transplanting our 3080s.
And I'm still sitting with a 2080, but that served me well so far.
Oh, nothing wrong with that one bit. We got our 3080s like last year, and before then we had 1060s, so we kinda were falling behind. You hit the 80 mark at this point, you're in the jelly zone. If you're at the 60 mark, you're at the just above board graphics mode. And if you can afford a 90, I'm proud of you.
And if you're in the TI range, you're just showing off your big dick money energy.
To be fair, about 5 video cards back on me, I did end up with a TI, but it was a 560 Ti, so that was... And I didn't get it when the 560 was the hotness. I got it when the 560 was like 2 cards back, I think. It was my first and only TI.
I'm not sure if I've ever had a TI. I got 2080 I have now. I got, I guess, the computer I have was a pre-built one that apparently retailed at the time for about $4,000, but my brother's partner at the time got it from an auction site for like $1,600.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I haven't had a pre-built computer since
That one percent.
my the last pre-built computer I got that was for my gaming rig setup was 2001. I got a Dell. Oh, I know.
The computer I still have it in the other room. It's kind of a backup. I think it's got a 1080 in it.
Not bad.
Graphics card wise, but that was completely custom built by my brother.
Well, that was nice of him. I'm glad he hooked you up.
Got that for Christmas one year. So that was pretty good. The case is massive. If I ever need to expand, I can always just switch that case. I went from a giant case to a very compact one.
Nice. Fopsy said, we heard you liked updates, so we got some updates for your updates.
Yeah, it's all that.
I've been building our desktops for quite a few years now. I mean, since, 2002, I think, was my first build. I love doing it. I find it so fun. Of course, back then, Go ahead.
I was saying, like, I probably could build my own computers. I just don't trust myself not to fuck something up, so I usually have someone else do it.
Oh, I trust I'm going to fuck something up. I pretty much guarantee it. Back in that...
It couldn't be as bad as, like, like a vocational college, living a trade thing. I was doing networking, like IT networking, and there was an exam where you had to do a hardware part where you had to diagnose hardware issue, why the computer wasn't working, and then a software issue, why the computer wasn't working. And some kid next to me, like, he plugged the USB like cable directly into the power supply somehow. And then he left the room, he went home early, and everyone's like, what's that smoke smell? And there was this haze around the corner of my room. And they were all looking at me thinking I'd done something wrong. And they looked at his computer, looked inside, it's like, oh, the cable connected to the USB port has completely melted.
Yeah, I'll do that. That would melt it.
So it couldn't be as bad as what that kid did. And he fucking left the room before anyone found out that.
Sadness. I was so excited when I built my first computer that I could afford a GeForce graphics card. I had a GeForce 4. It had a fan on it and everything. I know. It had a fan. Did you realize you get a video card with a fan on it? Back then, your video card was like, if it was 10% of the cost of your computer, it was an expensive one. Now, if it's not over half...
I remember. My first computer was one of those green screen text ones with games the size of, like, floppy disks. Like, floppy disks the size of dinner plates.
I never had an 8-inch floppy, but the first computer I put together was a double floppy option with the 5 1/4 and the 3 1/2.
Ooh, double floppies.
I know. She was a 386 built out of stuff found in a dumpster.
That's what my brother did. Would, like, dumpster dive basically at our school whenever they tossed out the old computers to salvage parts and experiment around with them.
Ours was from where my dad worked, the lumber yard. Threw out some of the computers from the office, and I pieced together parts of what I found and made my 386. And it was my computer. I had my space. I could play my Wolfenstein 3D upstairs, in my bedroom, without anyone interfering. Long, long ago, in the before times.
Yeah, I kind of like I had a break, like taking that start on computers, I guess, and then I had this big stretch where I went through every console, basically, like the Xbox, the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 3, the Xbox One, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5.
Yeah. All the game stations.
I don't have any of them. I don't have pretty much any of them anymore. Like, apart from PlayStation 5. I actually can't remember where the hell my Xbox is. It's been so long since I've touched a console. I've just been focused completely on PC. And I guess VR to an extent as well.
We still have pretty much every console I've ever owned except the original Nintendo, because that actually died. So I have my Atari's...
We also did have I actually skipped a few. We had the GameCube, and we had the Super Nintendo as well. And the regular Nintendo 64.
Ooh. My N64 is green. Clear.
It's had the regular old black one. A lot of GoldenEye back in those days.
Pretty sure I own a copy of that. I know I played it with a roommate in college, but I don't remember for sure if I bought it in the end or not. Because by the time I was buying that kind of stuff, I already had Unreal Tournament. I was like, this is better.
I could never go back to playing a game like on the N64 controller. That was such a clunky controller. If you think about how they design them now.
It was neat in its time. It was innovative. It had a lot of options, but it tried to spread things out too much.
Yeah, like if you had even slightly small hands, you have to really stretch your thumb out to get to the analog stick in the middle.
Yeah. The GameCube controller was much better designed compared to compared between the two of them. And nowadays, most any of the modern controllers are almost all basic carbon copies of each other with just minor differences, like what you call the four face buttons. I'm a big fan of the new PlayStation one. The whatever the heck the DualSense, full of sense, many sense, sensity sense controller is called.
And you got that basically like that little touchpad in the middle.
I initially hated that on the PS4, but then I got used to it. I was like, oh, you're a thing. You're now part of my life. Hello, little pad thing. But the controllers are really comfy to hold at this point, and they're really tight, really responsive. My gamepad for my computer is basically based off of a PS3 controller. It's a Logitech one. Really nice to be able to sit down and play things like Cult of the Lamb with that, as opposed to having to keyboard mouse it or try and do a video capture off of something else to stream with.
It's been so long since I've used the controller. Generally, I just brute force PC controls if they're available.
Some games I find are more fun with a controller of some sort. Depending on what the game is, that is. A first-person shooter, by far, I will keyboard and mouse that to my dying day, but platformers and things, they feel better if I have a controller in my hand. I can't Mario with a keyboard and pressing whatever buttons I have to press to make me jump.
Yes, certain games respond better to controllers, top-down games, the side-scrollers.
Yeah. None of our consoles are getting much at all attention lately either. And we have a lot of them plugged in at any given time, ready to be used. Not turned on, mind you. Many of them are power unplugged, just plugged into the TV. The PS5 has a stack of games, which I think we've played 3 of at all. I buy things and go, we want to play this. Yes, we do. We want to play this. Yes, we do. We want to play this. Puts it in front of the TV. Should I take the plastic off?
My Steam library.
Steam library. Oh, you mean that giant scroll list of things that I never even installed half of?
Yeah, pretty much. Like some things that I've got like 5 minutes of playtime where I booted it up to be like, huh, okay, and then I just never played it again.
Yeah.
Just haven't. I bought it, never played it, just because it was on sale for like $5. I'm like, I might play this, and I forget about it. I think I've got like 350 games. I think.
I can check on me. Well, hello, Fleming. Welcome to the stream. I'm sorry if I missed you earlier. I've been
For me,
distracted. See, I still have my Steam library up. I think I do. There we go. Does it say how many? Oh, there we are. 328 games, apparently.
I have 486 games owned with almost 800 DLC.
Wow. That's a lot of
I'm a bit
games.
of a digital hoarder.
The number of times I bought the Humble Bundle back in the long ago's, I have so many games from that mess.
I still buy the occasional Humble Bundle. Like, they had a VR one, and I'm like, oh, I only have like one of those games. Sure, I'll buy that.
I think I bought that one. I'm pretty sure I bought that one because I liked all the games on it. They're our most played game, Cookie Clicker.
Even that, I've only played, I think, 2 of the games I bought from that bundle. I still haven't touched the other, like, 2 or 3.
I haven't even installed them. I bought them knowing I'm gonna play these. I'm gonna play them on stream. Yeah, that didn't happen. Cookie Clicker 6,917 hours.
That's a lot of cookie.
Eh. Borderlands 2 is probably the one game with the actual playtime that's the highest. That's 1,100 actual hours.
My highest playtime, I think 1,600 for War Thunder.
Woot! Borderlands 450. And 150. Yep, that's the winner then. Borderlands 2. 1109.
Yeah, 1,600 hours almost exactly for War Thunder, 1,300 hours for Warframe, 800 for Stellaris, 800 for Deep Rock Galactic. Quite a few hours.
Hey, Fopsy, have you tried catapulting fermented herrings and durians at Jeff Bezos' yard or doorway yet? Or did you decide to go with Concub instead? Smashing Hammerhead. I'll pay and raise your Borderlands with Skyrim with 1,000 hours. Nice. Borderlands owned my life for quite a while. That was my stress reliever, so that's why it has as many hours.
I think the last Borderlands I played was the pre-sequel.
Oh, I hated that one.
I liked it just for Handsome Jack.
I liked him. Oh, sorry, 2,000 hours. Oh, that's a lot of hours there. I liked him. I didn't mind the characters. I hated the gameplay. I kept running into places where there were just tons of respawning bullet sponge baddies, and I was busy trying to find the hidden MacGuffin section, going to find all 5 hidden what's-its in a room. And by the time I'd found 4 of them, the sponge scenario started respawning again. I was running out of ammo while I'd already cleared this area. I hadn't left this area, but the sponges started to come back. I'm like, ugh. And the lack of, and then the non-air areas. Anytime when you're out in space, I hated that. I don't need a breathing requirement in my Borderlands game. I jump off of buildings and get a badass reward for jumping off of them. I don't need to worry if I can have oxygen. That's my rant.
Was the pre-sequel was the one before that had Shooty McShootface?
Shooty McShootface was in 2. Shoot me in the face! Shoot me in the face!
Shooty McShootface.
That's one of the easiest missions in the entire game. I guess shoot him in the face.
Isn't the easiest mission the one where Handsome Jack says, "Hey, can you go jump off a cliff and I'll give you money?" And when you kill yourself, it's like, "I can't believe you did that. Here it is, you whore."
I'll give that second easiest mission because you have to walk to the place where you have to jump off of that. So you got to go through where there's some bad guys to get to that location to jump off.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Flamin says, my favorite rant was the Ultima Online. How the heck does one dig up bronze ore? It's a mixture of copper and tin, not naturally occurring stuff. Listen, if a game doesn't have copper mining, apparently it is the worst game in the world, so just put that on your list of things. I always judge my Fopsy and her friends when they're playing games and ask, "Oh, you're playing an adventure game. Can you mine copper?" If the answer is no, I tell them that the game sucks. Mow. I'm not sure what I'm playing on stream after Cult of the Lamb gets done, but I'm into the last section of the DLC, so I'm gonna have to decide soon.
Well, sounds like you got a lot of options.
Yeah, but I gotta pick something that I can see. 'Cause I play in fursuit, so I gotta pick something I can play without my glasses on. Half the fun of Caddie's gaming streams is I can't tell half of what's going on in the game. And you get to stare at a fursuit. Yay! At least it's getting cooler out, so I don't have to overheat when I'm playing games. Yay for winter. You're getting summer. Well, you're in spring.
Yeah, one more month, and we're almost in summer.
Yay!
Christmas is our summer.
I learned that from watching cartoons. Guess which one? Guess.
Not actually sure.
It's Bluey.
Bluey was the second one in my mind. First, for some reason, I thought of Rocco's Modern Life.
Yeah, but he's not really in Australia. He's an Australian critter, but he's not necessarily in your actual region.
Yeah.
Though, yeah, I grew up with... I remember when he was a new show. I loved watching him.
Oh. Yeah, I watched him when I was a kid, and then I watched a lot of Invader Zim.
I missed Invader Zim till I was an adult. It started showing up on Nicktoons after, for some reason we stopped watching them. I don't know if in our area, they were all playing right or not, or if they moved the time frames to where I couldn't see them anymore. But I didn't get to see Zim until I was adult. And then I was like, oh, I'm glad I waited. This is way more fun when I get the jokes. Oh, such a...
Depending on how conservative the area is, they might have shifted it to a later time, because Zim was one of those pretty out there kids shows where I wasn't afraid to show, intestines spilling from mouths, eyes popping out of heads, and such.
Such a healthy child, and such plentiful organs. Cadpig, you turned into a Sonic form? You did? Well, right now I'm a Renamon, not a Sonic critter. I'm a Digiman. I've been a Sonic Man before, but that was only when we went to a Sonic Man world and I opened up one of the free avatars. The Mr. Duffy Man here is definitely not a Sonic Man. He's a big puppy fluff.
And I don't go fast.
I definitely don't go fast. I will happily say I go longer now, as far as walking goes. For the longest time, I was playing Fitbit as far as my my hobbies, and I would just try and keep getting a higher and higher step count and keep holding it up. So now when I go to a convention, it's a lot easier for me to maintain. And this last year, I moved in...
Yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Ah. I started doing squats as of the beginning of this year every work day, and my legs have gotten so much stronger from just a few minutes of squats every day. It's like, wow, I grew muscles. It's so cool.
Yeah, I'd be a big old slob if not for work keeping me active.
If I did just what work told me to do, I would never leave my desk chair.
Well, I work retail, so a lot of walking around, carrying shit, so that keeps me active to a degree.
I work internet security stuff, mostly sending out DMCA notices. I'm evil. I don't make the reason why people people get the notices. I just have to follow the fact that they earned them. What about a Sonic Mobians? I don't know. Sonic characters are cool. Not mostly my thing, but I am fine with anyone that likes being a Sonic person. Y'all are cool. All y'all Sonic critters. I mean, I hang around Denny often, and she is quite often a Sonic Mans of some kind, like the Cream Bunny or Amy. I don't know most of their names because I stopped playing at like Sonic 3.
I know, like, the main group, there's Sonic, Tails, Amy, Shadow, Knuckles, and that's about it.
Silver and Blaze.
Rouge the Bat.
Oh yes, the sex symbol.
Yep.
Princess Sally, who got written out in the comics so that she never appears in games and anything anymore. She was hot. Well, hello, Shade Wolf. Lovely to see you tonight. Welcome to the chaos. I'm sitting here getting a snuggle from a Mr. Duffman and talking about video games mostly. Because that's what we divulged into. And I'm okay with that. Oh, a fun thing. Speaking of computer stuff. Our current computers originally had the 1060s in them. And then I bought us the 3080s like a little over a year ago. They fit. I'm going to specify they fit. To get them into place, because I've made our computers exactly the same, I had to unplug the motherboard's power cable and then rerun it over top of them because otherwise that didn't fit. I think I had to move one of Fopsy's SATA cables to one of the other ports because otherwise it wouldn't have fit. It's just like, it clears the butt end by like millimeters. I'm so glad I bought his 10,000 watt power supplies because, wow.
Tight fit better than no fit at all.
You can call me Shadow Wolf XL. Okay. Can we get an oh yeah for and from the Duff Man? You have your request of an oh yeah.
Wait a minute. The man is cuddling the caddy. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. That works for me. There you go, Flynn. Cat Big, you can call me Shadow Wolf because you remember me from Affinity. Oh, okay. Well then, yes, I do remember you. Hi. Fleming in the ear gives you a cheers. I am not cute. I am scary. I'm a scary Digiman. I'm very... Are you disagreeing that I'm big and scary?
Cute.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I am a cuddle bug. I'm not gonna lie. Also, I'm a million times more comfortable as of today, even though this chair still needs some breaking in. It's nice to not feel like your chair's gonna fall apart every time you're streaming. I knew it was a major problem when I started to figure out the fix to the fact that I was leaning back so far in VR was I put a very large pillow behind me in my chair to prop me up, and then I thought, okay, if I'm doing this, how far back is the chair if this is what it takes to make me sitting up? Oh. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I've had a few broken chairs over the years, and then I finally said, fuck it, and I bought it because all the ones I had before were just a regular plastic arms and shit. But this one I bought, spent extra money. It's metal reinforced, so it's
nice.
That plastic ain't snap. There's no plastic there to snap.
Well, this
so hopefully gonna last a good long time.
This last one lasted me a good while. It was 6 years. And it was, not gonna lie, Fat Man chair. I bought ones that are rated for 350 pounds because... Did you realize almost all those basic desk chairs are rated for 225? You go to...
Talk about the conversion now.
I am not sure. I'm bad at remathing that. Hold on. Let me pull out the web browser.
You Americans with your freedom units.
Let's see. Keyboard. Where's the keyboard button now? 225 LB. 2 kilogram. Ta-da! No, not 220. Not 22. Missed one of my numbers there, computer. 225. Enter. That is 102 kilograms. Is what most desk office chairs are rated for. Ha.
I actually can't remember what my current one's rated for. I think it's 120, 130 kilograms.
That at least fit most normal humanoids. I just hate the fact that here in America, 225 is not... That's not the high end of people. That's not even the average of people. Walk around your local Walmart and you will start to see all the 250 pluses. Also, you'll question why there's only size 32 pants, and there's people here that are... everyone looks like they need size 50 or better, but you have all size 30 waist pants. Why? I don't get it. Hug. The blep gives it away. So, 3 chairs ago, I started buying the chubby person ones. I figured out to check the tags. Technically, my first Fat Man chair still works. Just the compression cylinder died, so it's stuck on low floor. The butt padding is almost all worn out, so it feels like I'm sitting on just a piece of wood. And almost all the fake leather peeled. but it never actually died. It legitimately still exists.
Caddie, sitting on wood.
You know, if it was that kind of wood, it'd be different. But you know, my last 3 chairs I have bought are all actually Lazy Boy brand. The one that just died.
I got mine from an office supply place.
Ah. I got mine at Sam's Club.
I always avoid those quote-unquote gaming chairs.
Oh, those are...
They're usually just overpriced crap.
They're overpriced and don't generally have good padding in them. It's like, ooh, look at this fancy look. It looks like you can go game faster. No. Now, I bought ones made...
You're driving a waste car. Vroom, vroom.
Yeah, that. No, I don't need vroom vroom chair. My chair doesn't need a vroom vroom. Lazy Boy apparently makes a heck of a good desk chair. I thought they just made recliners. But no. Desk chairs. The one that was at this desk is the one that died, and that's 6 years ago. The one that's upstairs at my work desk is the exact same model as the one I'm sitting on right now. And it's like 4 years old now, and there is no signs of wearing on it yet. And of course this one, which I just got on Saturday, so it's not broken yet. Give me time. I find picking a comfortable desk chair is critical in this day and age. If that's where you're spending most of your fun time, you better make sure that chair is one you like sitting your butt in. Same thing with a bed that has to be comfortable. You're there for 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. That better be comfy. Christmas carols in stores. Hellish. Ugh. That's what headphones are for. They fix that.
Yeah, the chair I picked is got a fabric cushion on the bottom, so there's not. I hate leather. I hate leather chairs. It's comfy, but when there's heat, it's just like you're sitting in ball soup.
I feel ya. I may have a leather chair, but I don't sit on leather. I have a easily take it off and wash piece of faux fur fabric under my bum, and behind my back is a fake lambskin, a pink fake lambskin that's I have attached to my chair. It is so comfy. I get so many people telling me, "Oh, that's going to be so warm. That's going to be so warm." I'm like, not really. It doesn't make any more warm than the fabric back. It's just more comfortable and feels nicer. It's got a really good cush.
I haven't heard Mariah Carey yet.
I wear headphones when I go to the store. Every time.
Yeah, I work there, so I can't.
Yeah, I am so sorry. Multiple of my jobs work overnight stocking at Target, and Christmas was the most evil season, so I feel for all of you.
After the store closes, a lot of staff put in headphones and just listen to music as long as there's no customers around.
I asked. I was specifically told I was not allowed because it was a hazard.
Yeah, they've told people that I've told that a few times, but people generally just say, okay, and they just put one headphone in, so they're still technically listening to what's around them.
Yeah. I would have been willing to just have better music while I was working. But now I work from home.
Listen to audiobooks.
Oh, well that would work pretty good. I actually
I read at work, but I can listen to them.
I made it through the entire unabridged Lord of the Rings on my commute to Target when I worked there. A friend of mine had it on CD, and I would just load up disc after disc after disc and just listen through the thing. That was a long time ago. In the US, Granny gets run over by reindeer. In Finland, the steamroller meant to level roads and it's a steamroller meant to level roads and streets. Poor Granny. I don't want to go to Finland. It sounds scary there.
Maybe Greg deserved it.
Neither of my grannies would have deserved it. Also, I miss both of them. One of my grandmas never got to meet my husband, and I feel bad about that. She died when I was like 12. And the other one loved him.
No.
So, that worked out well. And she was aware he wasn't just that my husband was not just my friend, but we were a thing, and she was still okay with that. And that makes me happy.
He's the friend that you spend lots of time with and you're very, very happy around.
When we went to her funeral, because there were a couple of bigoted people in my family, everyone just kept referring to my husband as my friend. A month later, somebody else died who was in the family, and all of a sudden, my friend was officially, according to all of them, my husband. Because, well, that was the biggest bigot. I gotta say, that's one of the few funerals I didn't really spend time mourning. I was just there for my family members to support them. Good day. Hello. May I use your phone? My granny got run over by a steamroller. No, you may not. Thank you. Goodbye. Finland sounds strange. One of the places I would love to visit one day is Duffland down there. I hear your world is kind of neat. That and every animal's trying to kill you. Because
It's pretty good down here, down under.
I'm surprised that kangaroos aren't somehow covered in poisonous barbs with how everything else is.
I mean, they can disembowel you with a kick. That's something.
Okay, that covers it. Alright, yep. Every animal is scary in your world officially. Also, are my arms stuck? That's better.
Yeah, kangaroos can basically kick the crap out of you. We have the most dangerous mammal, I think. Actually, I'm not sure if we have the dangerous mammal. We have the most dangerous snake, the most dangerous spider, the most dangerous bird, the most dangerous plant. Not sure about the mammal though.
Even the platypus has poison barbs. Isn't that your world?
Yeah, not lethal though, but yeah, you'll hurt like hell.
Don't you get spider rain down there sometimes?
Yeah, some areas have basically like spider rain.
As an arachnophobic person, that's scurry.
Yeah, well, I live like 100 kilometers, or I'm sorry how many miles, but from Sydney, and that's the area where you can find the most Sydney funnel webs, which are the most deadly, the most toxic, they have the most deadly venom in the world, the Sydney funnel web spider.
So you're about 100 kilometers from city? Nice.
Yeah.
I forget how far I am from Pittsburgh and Chicago. But I'm only about a 5-hour drive from Pittsburgh and a 3-hour drive from Chicago.
We have a plant, a leaf down at a plant called the Gimpy plant. And it has it's covered in like tiny microscopic needles. And it is a plant that will make you contemplate suicide.
That bad, huh?
The pain is meant to be that excruciating and can last for weeks to months.
I don't want to see this plant.
It just looks like a regular plant. You wouldn't even know you were brushing up against it until, the excruciating pain started.
Got it. Yeah, your world's scary, but still sounds fun.
There is like a, I'm not sure, it's like a folk legend or like a rumor about some guy who was out in the bush and he used one of those leaves as toilet paper.
Oh!
And promptly ended himself rather than deal with that.
I've heard enough stories about people that use either poison ivy or poison oak for that. And at least those, I wouldn't say you need to end yourself, but boy, would you be slathering on the anti-itch cream for the next few weeks.
Yeah, no cream would save you from the gimpy.
Flam says, yes, we are strange. We wrestle and box with polar bears, hunt seals for sports, live in igloos, and fish in ice holes. We have ice fishing here, too. I don't think we box polar bears. We definitely don't hunt seals. But I know we have igloos up in Alaska.
There's a famous video of a guy boxing, punching a kangaroo in the face to save his dog.
I like kangaroos. They're cute. I go and see them at the zoo every time we go. It's actually one of the nicer exhibits at our zoo.
Yeah, but there's a zoo in Australia, zoo in Queensland. Went there a couple of years ago. Like you don't have to sign up for an exhibit to actually hang around with kangaroos. You just walk into their enclosure and they're just all chilling around the place.
Ours has a path you have to stay on, but you basically just walk in the double gates, and the kangaroos are just there. And if they choose to walk across the path, fine. But you're not allowed to get off the path. But they have a nice big area.
Yeah, see, there's no path you have to follow. At least the one I went to, there's no path you have to follow. You could go up to them and just be like, here's some food.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, I wanted to do, because you could go to, you could sign up to, get a special ticket to hang out with some animals, go into their enclosure with the handlers, and I wanted to do otters, but it had been sold out already, so I went for the land otters. I went to meerkats.
Yee! Meerkittens.
Yeah, so I got a picture of me with a meerkat, one on my lap and one perched on my head.
Oh, how cute! It's been a while since I petted anything other than the petting zoo parts of the zoo. For us, the common local animals, most of them are in the pettable section of our zoo, like the cow with the donkey and the sheep and the bunnies and the goats. The goats love you because the goats think you're going to feed them. It's interesting when you see your local animals at a zoo and you think about all the other animals are from someone else's local, and to them those are the normals.
frisky with the koala bears because, hey, they're an animal that can carry chlamydia.
Funny thing is, that's one of the animals we don't have in our Australia section. And our Tasmanian devils have been hiding the last few years every single time we've gone in there. They've not been put out or they're somewhere. I only got to see them a couple times after they moved in. Dingoes are adorable, though.
I mean, they're basically just a wild dog breed.
They are, but they're such cute good boys. I want to go in and pet them, but you can't. Also, their enclosure has a fence that gets shared with the kangaroos, which I always just thought of as, are we just teasing them with food and just not letting them have access? I do have one lion advantage at my zoo. The lion really likes to lay against this one glass panel because it's apparently a nice, cool place. And you could be on the other side of that glass panel. You just see the lion's giant mane just foofed up against the wall, and you could just be like, I'm there. He's just like, I'm big. I can eat you. And our red panda area just got redone this last year, so we apparently have 2 kinds of red pandas. I didn't know there were 2 kinds of red pandas. But it looks nicer. And they're cute. And they're floof.
Yeah, red panda's cute.
Mm-hmm. Beerbeck, gotta kick some polar bears trying to eat my fermented herring. You can keep the fermented herrings. Wild says I do like our kangaroo exhibit. Yeah, Wild, we need to go visit Mr. Duffman though and play in his kangaroo exhibit because there's no path. You just go in. Flam says, somebody say red pandas? Yes, we did. Yes, they're adorable.
Isn't that fermented herring? Isn't that called surströmming or something? It's like meant to be one of the stinkiest fish things in the world.
Nah, surströmming is surströmming. Pickled herring is apparently just a regular, normal thing. For that part of the world, that's just like a Tuesday for them. Regular pickled herrings. That's an I don't get it food.
Everywhere has their weird foods. People don't understand why Australians love Vegemite so much.
I want to try Vegemite. For what I've heard about what the flavor is, I think it's something I would actually enjoy. I like weird, strong flavors.
Really savory and salty. And the mistake most Americans make is they think, oh, it looks like a chocolate spread. I'm going to eat it like peanut butter. And they put a whole spoonful in their mouth.
No.
There's a very specific way you have to eat it. You have to butter your bread, then you have to put a nice light smear of Vegemite on.
It sounds good.
And then they made a Vegemite for weaklings called Cheesy Mite, which is Vegemite mixed with cream cheese.
Well, that would just make it indigestible for me, because I can't have the cheese. Cream cheese is like the ultimate level of cheese negative for me. Oh, you ate mozzarella. You're going to get a tummy ache. You ate cheddar. A lot of it. Okay, you might get tummy ache.
According to Flamian, fermented herring is called surströmming.
Oh. Okay, so that is evil. Nine twins served as cure hangover originating from Sweden, our beloved enemy. You can enjoy that all you want.
Zealand is to Australia. We're like friendly enemies. There's a constant like bit of a rivalry going on.
If that whole
It's a friendly
section,
rivalry.
if that whole section of your continental plate wasn't for some reason underwater at the moment, you'd be connected. I find the geography of your area very weird.
It would be weird to be connected to New Zealand.
If you look at the plate, though, that you're sitting on, the fact that it's like it's a giant continual thing. If just the border from Australia moved out to New Zealand and then back on the other side too, that's what your plate looks like. It's so, because of the last continental shift, like millions of years ago, however long ago that was, that chunk of land sunk. For how it hit a lower underbase. I always thought continent shapes were interesting since I was a little kid. Even before somebody explained to me that Pangea was a thing at some point, I just looked at the world and I was like, these places look like they fit together. And then I found out they did.
Good old supercontinent.
One large landmass to rule them all. Mao.
Yeah, but we're just cool down here by ourselves, and all our weird animals evolved separate to everyone else.
Yeah, you end up with all the things that decided they needed pouches for second fermenting.
Yeah, and the only animal in the world that poops square poop, the wombat.
Yeah, your animal life is all weird. Just flat out. Your animal life is weird. You're from an entirely different world down in that area. Because it doesn't match anything else. Everything else at least has some continuity. Like there's foxes on almost every landmass. They're just foxes everywhere. You have animals that make square poop, that are mammals that lay eggs, that have poison barbs on their butts. Things live in pouches.
Don't forget animals built like tanks, like those giant ripped up kangaroos or wombats, which are stupidly dense. Like full-size wombat can probably tear the engine out of your car if you hit it.
I don't need one of those. Granted, I'm not too far south from where they're the giant walking trees, aka moose. You hit a deer with a car, yeah, your car is probably damaged, and the deer is probably dead. You hit a moose with a car, your car is totaled and the moose walks away.
Yeah, a wombat's kind of like a mini moose. Just as dense, but smaller. I almost hit one going like 100 kilometers an hour once.
Oof.
Yeah, like no, I know the person I was driving with kind of noticed that it just because it was night, so they noticed it just steered into the headlights. So I just like hit the brakes and just we ended up stopping like within a meter from it. It just like turned and looked at us.
I'm glad you didn't end up hitting it, and you're okay.
Oh yeah, if I'd hit it at that speed, yeah, I actually do not know if I would be alive. Because those things are basically like little living wrecking balls of muscle.
Speaking of fun geography, apparently in a few million years, Iceland might break in two, one side of flowing to Europe and the other half going to North America. Well, I hope you end up on whatever side's the better side in a few million years.
Let the Icelandic War begin.
Dun dun dun. Ow. It is getting late, and I have to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, I have to actually get ready for work in a minute. Wow.
I kind of unfortunately figured that as well. Let's find somebody to rate everyone out to. Who's on? Who's on that I haven't bothered lately? You know what? I haven't bothered him in ages. I know who I'm sending everybody to. Ta-da! And he's probably going to be on my list. Of course he is, because he's actually popular. Ha. Alright, well thank you all for spending some time with me and listening to me babble and chat about things and hang out with a couple of cool people, one of which is still sitting behind me and about ready to go to work his own self. Don't forget I stream on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 10 Eastern. This is 10 o'clock now, so 3 hours from now before is when I start your time, for reference, wherever you are in the world. We also have a Discord. It's down in my description, doodly-doo. My YouTube channel is still listed down there as well. I am 210 subscribers away from being able to monetize, and subscribing there is free. So if you can, please do so. I'd really appreciate it. It would help me a lot. I'd actually get paid for the ads that you're going to see, whether or not I, get paid for them. And Foxy Woo's channel is listed in my description. She streams on Tuesdays and Thursdays, same time frame as me. That is my waifu, my other half. The one I'm married to, the one sitting across from me right now physically. So that's a thing. And the raid process be beginning. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your night. Thank you again for joining me, and I will see you all again on Wednesday for Cult of the Lamby Lambies, or possibly tomorrow night when Foxy's streaming. Bye for now, and say hi to the little corgi butt I'm sending you off to. Boop. Did it click? It clicked. Yay! Turn the volume on so I hear what he says. Stay for there. Bye for now, and say hi to the little corgi butt I'm sending you off to. Oh yeah, I need to stop streaming too. Stop streaming, stop.